Well, good afternoon. I'm Doug Schwartzkopf, Senior Sales Agronomist at Ag Partners in Albert City. Welcome to our inaugural session of Walking the Fields with Doug. What we're going to do through these episodes throughout the year is talk about varying conditions in our fields here in the Albert City and Storm Lake area, and with the growing conditions, how they change and what we may be needing to look at as we go forward with the cropping season. So what we're going to start with here today is doing some initial digs and look at the things that agronomists are looking at in the fields when they're following your planters, what they use to make decisions about the future. What we've done here is we've dug down to check the planting depth of the corn, and also time to take a look at the spacing of the seed. And what you can see here, our planting depth here is right at 2 inches, maybe just a tad better than that. It's a good depth with conditions on. We'd like to be 2 to 2 1/4 inches deep. That way we're keeping even consistent moisture and temperature to the plants so they all emerge at the same time. Corn's one of those products that we want everything to come up within a 12-hour window. We want to keep as uniform of a stand as possible. What we're looking for as a final product is those ears of corn to kind of look like a litter of pigs, every one of them looking alike. Alright, we've moved to another location within the cornfield and have dug out down the rows, and the planting depth has maintained still in that 2.5 inch level, which is good. Everything's going to stay kind of consistent. But one of the things I want to look at here is seed placement. And as we go through this series, you will see how important this becomes. As you can see here, we have a little variability in the seed placement. We'd like to keep them all probably within that 7-8 inch range, depending on population that we're looking at. But here, as you can see, we go from a 10-inch gap. Here we're looking at going to a 6-inch gap between these two. Down here we're down to 4 inches. And from here to here we're back to 7. And what we'll see is that as this comes up, we'll see different size plants. And when you get to harvest, you'll see different size ears. Remember, each one of these kernels costs the same to buy, and you're looking at the same cost of production, whether you get 1 ear out of this, if you're going to get 5 good ears, or 3 good ones. When we have the plants that are, and the seeds that are narrow like this, what it really means to the cost of your production is going to be higher. You're not going to get as good a return, because if you have partial ears instead of a good full-size ear that you might see at these normal gaps, when you get to a gap like that, you're going to have a half ear. Just, what we're trying to do is maximize our returns, and this is one of the simplest ways to maximize our profitability. In the coming weeks, as we're evaluating the corn and soybean stands, we'll try to stay ahead of the conditions and we'll look for ways that we can maximize your returns on your investment in corn, beans, and other inputs as we go throughout the growing season.